So I had one of the most eye-opening conversations with my dad the other day. And even though my dad's not an entrepreneur, I was still able to take the things that we were talking about, some of the things that he was saying, and apply it to entrepreneurship. And that was really like the coolest thing about the conversation. It had absolutely nothing to do with entrepreneurship. And it's not only this conversation, but it's a lot of other ones that's similar to it. But in this one in particular, I'm gonna break this down, show you how it applies to business, how you can apply it to your business, how you can apply it to your life to get the desired outcome that you're looking for. If it's your first time seeing me, my name is Marcus Crockett. This is Clean Things Solutions, where we take all of the guesswork out of how to start and grow your commercial cleaning business. If you get any value out of what I'm gonna talk about in the video, make sure you go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, make sure you click on the notification bell, click on all, so that way you're able to see all of the content that's coming out. And with all of that said, let's get into it. So I go over to my dad's house the other day, and we're just having just random conversations. And I bring up one of the oldest memories that I can think of, that I could actually remember. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. And at the time, we're living in Germany. My dad was in the military, and we're living in Germany. We're stationed over there. And if you don't really know how military installations are set up, you can either live on base or off base. So we actually lived on base in military housing. It's like apartments almost, but for the military. So we're living on base, and I don't remember exactly the time of year it was, but I remember it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, what it felt like 4 or 5 in the morning. I remember the rain coming down. Outside of the window, we had like these little metal panes, and I can hear the rain hitting. That's what actually woke me up. But I hear the rain, and I look out the window, and there's a street light, and the light is shining down because it's still dark, and I can see the rain like going through the light. And through all of that, through all of the sound of the rain and everything that I'm hearing, I can hear trumpets playing, right? And these trumpets, they're out there, and it's for the military. My dad is out there, and I hear the chants and all of the noise that they're making. And in between all of that, I hear the trumpets playing. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, I don't know exactly what they're doing out there, but I don't ever want to be in a situation where I have to be out and, early in the morning in the rain doing that stuff. Like, I'm still tired. So this is what led us to the conversation, right? I'm telling him about this, this memory that I have. So after I get done telling him like all the things that I'm telling him, he looks at me and he says, to be honest, I really didn't want to be out there either, but I had obligations. I had things that I had to do. I have people to take care of. People rely on me. So, because of that, he has to be out there. He had to be gone. Now, even though like my dad, is, ex-military, he had other skills, right? There was other things that, he could have dove into, like a side hustle, right? There's other side hustles that he could have got into, but he chose to be 100% dedicated, to the military during that time period, because that was going to give him the most amount of consistency. Now, I'm going to say this, like, I don't know too many people who has the kind of work ethic that my dad has. Like, I don't even have my dad's work ethic. And even though he was in the military and that's what he was doing, he was 100% focused on that. He wasn't looking at a lot of other different things. Like he didn't come from like a side hustle type of mentality. So we finished up that conversation, and now I'm headed home, and I'm just thinking, I'm replaying everything. And I'm for whatever reason, the whole side hustle thing, it just keeps coming to me. It keeps coming to me. And I realized that for me, as long as I was, doing side hustles, I realized that the whole side hustle culture is kind of dangerous for people like me. Here's why. Now, 2 things, right? I've always had a job, and I've always had a side hustle. Didn't matter what my side hustle was, whether it was, selling DVDs and music back in the day, whether it was, selling shoes out the trunk of the car, whether it was, selling stuff on eBay back before drop shipping became what it is. I always had something else going on the side. Now, here's why, though. Here's why there was always something going on the side. Maybe you may be able to relate to this. Maybe you may not. But I always had something going on the side because I was never fully committed to any job that I had. Like, mentally, I knew that there was something else out there for me, in the form of entrepreneurship. I just didn't have the right blueprint. I didn't have the right guide. I didn't have the right mentor, whatever it was. I kept hanging on to this job, and I would stick my foot into the water, stick my toe into the water into entrepreneurship, and I just mask it as, oh, this is my side hustle, right? Now, if you're in a situation where you have a job and you have that job because you may really like that job, and you want to start a cleaning business because you want to pay for, your kids' college, or you want to pay for that vacation, or you just want to have extra money, whatever the case is. I'm not going to tell you that, quit your job and do that, or I'm not going to tell you what you're doing is wrong. Everyone's situation is completely different. If you have a job and you know that you need medical and your job pays for your medical and you want to start a side hustle in your business and that's all you really just want it to be, that's completely fine. But for me, I knew that I didn't want to have a job. I didn't want to be associated with a job for a lot of different reasons, right? Whether it was, not wanting to have to call in when I'm sick, or not wanting to ask for permission to go on vacation, or fill out the paperwork, or go through bereavement when someone passes. Like, I just knew that having a job just really, really wasn't for me. But it wasn't until I had kids and I'm starting to see my kids grow and they're getting bigger and I'm not being able to spend as much time with them. And I know that just because I'm working at this job, there really isn't really any real security. Like, if we just being honest, there really is no job security. So it really pushed me to get into the position where it's like, I have to make a decision. And the side hustle thing no longer works. And the reason why the side hustle thing no longer would work for me is this. So the side hustle thing no longer works. Just like my dad, like I was talking about earlier, my dad was 100% dedicated and focused on the military. There was no room mentally to do anything else on the outside. I kind of took that same approach. Like, if I'm going to go ahead and start a cleaning business, there is no room for anything else. So I cut my job off and I just dove in. I don't, when I do my coaching, when I do my consultations, I never tell anyone to do things quite the way that I did them. Yeah, it worked out for me, but that's not to say that it's going to work out for you the same way. I'm not saying that at all. You have to make the best decision for you. Here's why that was the best decision for me. If I would have kept my job and I would have, worked my, 8-9 hours at my regular job, get off, and then I'm going to go do work, and I don't have the mindset or I don't have the mentality that I'm going to make this side hustle my business, right? I'm going to work this so hard, and I'm just going to go all the way in until my job starts to become a side hustle, right? And then I can tiptoe my way out and, just focus on the business full time. So if you're in a situation where it's like, I want to, start a business, but I'm still at my job, this is the way that I would do it if I could go back in time. Keep the job, start the business, look at your business as your way out. This is your way out. You're going to go hard in your business. You're going to invest all your extra money into marketing of your business. Make sure you create a budget for that for your business. Work your business to the point where your job now becomes a side hustle. And then you can leave the job altogether and just focus 100% on the business. Here's why that's a win. When your focus is split between working and the business, the people, for me, if that would have been my path, the people who I got in business for, my kids, my family, they only would have suffered if I'm split between the two. Because yes, in the beginning, working in the business, I worked, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hours, some 16 hours sometimes, right? This is what it took to work. But that was in the beginning. It doesn't look like that now. But if I would have split my time between the two, there never would have been enough traction. I never would have had enough under me to really get the business pushed in the right direction. Now, this first starts with, having a mental change, a paradigm shift, understanding that job is temporary. This business is where it's going to be. And yes, I'm going to have to grind, but with each and every dime, every time you get money invested into the business so that it makes transitioning away from the job that much easier. Where the side hustle mentality becomes dangerous is the side hustle is people don't make that shift. They think like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep my job because it's safe, right? Supposedly. And my business, that's just going to be the side hustle. But the kids and the people who you really got in business for, the people you got in the business to help, those are the people who are really going to suffer, because you never get enough momentum, you never get enough under you to where the business can now take over as the main source of income, and you can just get rid of the job altogether. So guys, that is it for today's video. Hopefully you got value out of that. Coaching, consultation, courses, all of that stuff is in the link down below. Guys, like I say, in the game of business, spectators only watch, hustlers get into the game so they can win. I'm always dropping jewels, but the only way to be in position to pick them up is you got to like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, my name is Marcus Crockett. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.